Our presenter tonight is here to share the lessons learned from spending over 15 years in therapy. As a therapist, not as a client. Dr. Russ has a background in teaching people to understand each other better, even when they disagree. With over 20 years of formal education and many more informally, he will share with you how to accomplish more by using the 3 C's. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to improve your relationships. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Russ.
How many of you enjoy meeting people and creating relationships? How many of you get nervous creating these relationships? Now, with relationships comes misunderstanding. How many of you have ever felt misunderstood in a relationship? Pretty common. Sit for a moment and connect with the feeling of being misunderstood in a relationship. And how did it affect that relationship? Imagine driving down the road. Spouse is next to you in the passenger seat, and your 3-year-old child, for me it was my daughter, is in a car seat behind you. I have Tourette's syndrome, a neurological disorder causing motor and verbal tics. And now that I talk about them, I tend to do some. All right, now I got that out of the way. But with Tourette's, there comes a lot of misunderstandings. Walking down the street, saying, maybe yelling or looking at somebody and doing a funny face. But there's lots of misunderstandings that occur. One of my verbal tics is I yell, "Hey!" So, back to the car. We're driving down the street, quiet car. Like I said, spouse is next to me in the passenger seat, my 3-year-old daughter behind me, and I yell, "Hey!" And all of a sudden, I hear a sweet little voice behind me say, "Hey! Hey what, Daddy?" Now, misunderstandings like that can be funny and harmless, but not all misunderstandings are harmless. When my daughter said, "Hey what, Daddy?" I had to think, wow, what do I say now? How do you explain a neurological disorder to a 3-year-old? I can't say, "Oh, nothing, dear," because I wouldn't be being authentic or being true to myself. Plus, I want her to feel comfortable asking me about life and sharing with me what she experiences throughout life. In addition, if I say nothing, dear, what's that say about the years of teasing and misunderstanding that I've gone through? That's not nothing. And so, as we experience relationships and we experience misunderstandings, what do we do? How do we combat some of those things? Because relationships are more powerful than anything. Because I want my daughter to know that our relationship doesn't change because I have Tourette's. The only thing that might change is it might be strengthened. And as she learns to be open and honest in relationships, the cord in which binds us all together is strengthened. Relationships, as I said, are incredible. More important than we think, and we don't even realize how powerful they can be. Chinese proverb says, "There's a red thread that connects those who are destined to meet, no matter the place, time, or circumstance. The red cord may stretch, and it may tangle, but it will never break." Today we're going to discuss the 3 C's of authentic relationships: connectivity, collaboration, and consequence. Connectivity, the first C, that's where the red thread begins. And the more we connect, the more threads combine in our network of who we become and how we influence others. Now, we don't always know whose life we are influencing and how we're influencing others. April 28, 2014, there were several accidents on the roads of Utah. One person who was involved in an accident was Lisa, age 45, 2 children, occupation, dance teacher. One life that she influenced was that of my daughters. My daughter Christina loves dance because of the influence of Lisa. Whose life are you influencing? Do we even know whose life we're influencing? The second C is collaboration. How do we manage the relationships we have? Well, communication is a huge part of collaboration and relationships. Would you agree? Yeah. There are 4 danger signs of communication: escalation, invalidation, withdrawal and avoidance, and negative interpretation. Once we learn about these and learn to overcome them in our life, we can also help people overcome them in their relationships. Because when we get stuck on the danger signs, we often don't listen. And when people don't feel heard and don't feel they care because we're tangled up in these danger signs, then we lose a lot. We want to create more productivity, less stress, and more happiness. And that can be created by just listening. That's a huge part of it. The third C is consequences. With consequences, we create our own destiny and we create our own consequences through our beliefs and behaviors. There's a model called the ABCD model. A, activating event. Life happens. We have 0 control over life happening, although we like to think we do and want to control it. B, belief or behavior. We have 100% control over our own beliefs and behaviors. C, consequence. Again, we have 0 control over the consequences because they are a direct result of our beliefs and behaviors. D, dispute. We need to dispute our consequences. If we got what we want, great. Maintain the same belief and behaviors. But if we don't get what we want, we need to focus on and change our beliefs and our behaviors. I challenge you to look into your relationships. Write down the name of somebody that you want to connect with, truly connect with, and strengthen that red cord. Because as we strengthen that red cord, we will experience less stress, more referrals, and better productivity. Thank you.